Y'all, first and foremost, give all praise to y'all. Bashim out Shabbat and salute to all the brothers and sisters scattered across the four corners. Just wanna trying to let my router reboot my router. He going crazy. I don't know what's up with him right now. But let me download this PDF so we can have some slides if y'all willing. And we will get this thing crunk up. Slides. Your computer. Alright, we got slides uploading. Very, very crazy. Okay, my router back. Operating. Alright, shalom to the fam. Let me switch this internet. Yeah, think my internet's acting crazy. Shalom, brother Michael. Shalom. So, man, I don't know, y'all. We're gonna try to fight through this thing. And might have to delete the class. Copy clip. Or I might just, still save it, but just edit it and just edit all this crazy stuff that's going on. But my just little internet, man, act like it's supposed to be doing something. Let me make sure I got volume here. Let me just make sure we have volume. Okay, we got volume. We got volume. All right, investing in the kingdom. Turn my sword the right way. Where we at? Add my brother in.
Shalom.
Shalom, brother. All right, investing in the kingdom. We'll start with Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. All right, we invest in a lot of things, crypto. What's the the stock market? A lot of stuff going. This inflation killing a lot of things out here. But we invest in a lot of things, man. We invest in education. We invest in our future. But what better future investment than us investing in the kingdom? And we're going over the lesson on how to do these things. What do these things look like? And this is one of the clearest verses here is Matthew 6:19. It's probably one of those key verse of the whole lesson, where we get the definition of what it means to store up these heavenly treasures. Matter of fact, that's not it. That's not the verse I'm talking about. But it is a great verse. It is a key verse nonetheless. So we'll start with Matthew chapter 6, verse 19. We're going to read through 21.
This is the book of St. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Where your treasure is, there will be your heart also. And we all have these little niches, man. We all have, some brothers love cars, some sisters love, these different makeup lines, or I don't know what sisters like, but they, everybody has their little niche. Jokers being there, or they vice. You know what I'm saying? Jokers go in there and they be in there going crazy on them during sitting all day inside of those grocery stores, them convenience stores, playing them little slot machines. Jokers in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Some jokers, like I said, some jokers love cars. Some jokers love, woodwork, doing something. But, some of those things are a bit constructive, not necessarily blowing out money on it. But we invest in those things. You know what I'm saying? Got to have a new phone every time the phone come out. I'm hitting that age now where I'm still debating. Should I get another phone? But, do I want to add another $30 to my phone bill? That's a negative. I don't want to do that. Reciprocity, we'll see reciprocity in giving. All right, in giving and receiving. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 17. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he had given will he pay him again. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crime.
That's all we wanted was that one hitter. All right, he that have pity on the poor, lendeth unto the Lord. All right, you have pity unto the poor, you lendeth unto the Lord. I forget that text where what I'm saying, he says, where have you when did we feed you? When did we take care of you? When did we give you clothing when you need it? And the Messiah answered and said, when you do these things to the poor, when you do these things for the poor, he have had pity upon the poor, lendeth unto the Lord. And that which he have given, he will pay him again. You gonna receive it back. We just read the Matthew 19. No, we didn't. Let's read Matthew 16:19. We just read Matthew 6:19.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 16 and 19. And I will give unto you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven.
All right, what you bind in heaven, what you bound in earth shall be bound in heaven. What you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. What you release shall be released. What you hold on to on earth is gonna be held in heaven. Um, and that's that reciprocity. Look at the definition of reciprocity: the quality of state of being reciprocal, mutual dependence, action or influence, a mutual exchange of privileges, specifically a recognition by one or two countries or institutions of validity of licenses and privileges granted by the other. But we just saying, we see the reciprocity of the kingdom, talk about it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Forgive my sins as I forgive those who sin, who trespassed against me. If you don't forgive those sins, if you still have hatred for your brother, man, leave your gift. If you still have hatred for him, the Most High not gonna deal with you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't listen to him, so I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna close my ears and I'm not gonna hear your cries and I'm gonna laugh at your calamities. It's you got a whole class on that reciprocity. But here go another one. Luke chapter 6 verse 38.
This is the book of St. Luke, chapter 6 and verse 38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet, withal it shall be measured to you again.
The same measurement that you meet shall be measured unto you again. All right. All right, charge them that are rich. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17. Got quite a few slides here. So we gonna, the principle of this thing is just understanding how to invest in the kingdom. Because we will be rewarded according to our deeds. There is a reward according to their deeds outside of just salvation. And you have just parable after parable. We're going to get into a few of these parables, though. What I say, 1 Timothy 6 and 17.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy.
Read down in 19. Yeah, okay.
That they do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to distribute, willing to communicate, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life.
And a better translation, what is ready to distribute? What is that? Ready to communicate. Better translation for that is ready to give and willing to share.
I was just gonna say a willingness to give, yeah.
Laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life. There's a reward for that. All right. These are things that you invest in. So charge them. All right. Charge them that are rich. All right. Command them. The kingdom is like, and they should be rich in good works. All right, Matthew chapter 13. Are we rich in good works? Are we rich in good works? How man, what's our heaven credit, man? What the heaven credit report look like? You know, you can get a house here, but can you get a house in heaven? Uh-oh. 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 Them folks qualified you for 400,000 here.
God.
You got
Son.
qualified for 400K here. You know, will you be qualified for a house up there? Matthew chapter 13, verse 44.
This is Matthew 13, 40, shocking, 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which, when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field.
It says the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hid in the field, and once he finds that treasure, he's willing to sell all that he has. Okay, he's willing to sell all that he have and buyeth that field. Keep going.
Verse 45. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it.
Went and sold all that he had to get that one pearl. All right, that one pearl of great price. Shalom, Brian Reed. That one pearl of great price. He sold all he had, and it's that's why I said seek ye first. You know, seek ye first the kingdom. This is the greatest reward. This is the greatest consolation. Like, this is the greatest prize. You know, you do everything for this prize. I know brothers don't take this literal, and some brothers may read this and be like, man, but you put nothing before that prize, man. You know what I'm saying? You put nothing before that prize. You don't let nothing jeopardize you of this prize. That's the value of it. I was trying to show you the value of the kingdom. All right, you gotta let go. I had this here, of course, with the PDF, because I did it in Keynote. It's not gonna play, but if y'all remember, White Man Can't Jump. Most of us in the congregation are old enough to know the White Man Can't Jump. It was a good movie. It was one of my tops back in the day. But this is the point where Woody Harrelson is talking to Rosa Perez. And she's saying to him, sometimes you win. Sometimes when you win, you lose. And sometimes when you lose, you actually win. And sometimes when you and sometimes when you win or lose, you don't win or lose. You actually draw. You know what I'm saying? And I put that in there, but because it's profound. She sound crazy, but it's really profound, because in this walk, sometimes your losses be your wins. Sometimes, the losing, the stripping away of people, the stripping away of jobs. Sometimes when you think you really losing, when you think you down, you think you in a dry season, the rain is right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? That the breakthrough is right around the corner. So sometimes, and it'll help you too, man, understanding that it'll help you when you in certain moments, when you in certain storms, or you in a wilderness, that you understand, man, you being tried, man. If when you go through that fire, that's an L. You thinking that's an L, but when you understand that fire is there to refine you and to make you as gold and refine you as the finest, like, then you understand that wait a minute, man, that's probably a win. I wouldn't change that. A lot of people come through these certain breakthroughs and be like, I wouldn't change none of that, man. I was talking to a brother about, like, a lot of these folks, man, they had, these Simone Biles, all of these phenomenal people, athletic wise, Not even that, not even just athletics, but you know, even that little 13-year-old girl, man, who got a PhD or something. She going, you know, youngest girl to get a PhD, black girl get PhD, whatever. They come from you know, rough backgrounds, man, where they had to be adopted or they were thrown in the trash and somebody went and picked, you know what I'm saying? Um, but you know, once they come out of that, and you know, it'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't change nothing. You know, it built certain characteristics, built certain things, and I say all of that to say, man, sometimes when you win, when you're losing, and you're just like, this thing hit me all types of ways, man, you actually winning. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you're bleeding, you're actually being healed. But you know, when I watched this movie, I said, yeah, man, that's women, man, they are crazy.
Boy, I said the same thing. Crazy in the busy, but I did not get it at that time. But now, you know, a little bit of reflection that shines a new light on that whole
Right,
scene. You know?
con. But back then, it's like, man, yeah, man, you know, that was funny, that was hilarious. But you know, that sister was, you know, her character anyway was reading the almanac. Uh, Brother Michael brought out a precept, Matthew 19:24. I'll read it real quick. He says, and again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Con, and you know, even if we go up a couple verses to get the context of that rich man, why he had to leave these things away to invest in the kingdom, you had to let go. You know what I'm saying? We just read that in that Matthew 6:19 in the beginning of the class. You know what I'm saying? What thy bound on earth shall be bound in heaven, man. You want to hold on to them riches? The Most High gonna hold on to his riches. He gonna hold on to his. He ain't gonna release them things to you, but if you release them, he releases them. Excellent precept. I may have that in here. What will you lose to win? 2 Timothy 2:11. What will you lose to win? You know, a lot of us think we're losing now, but you really finna break a turn. It costs, man. It costs to elevate, man. It costs. It costs to get to that next level, man. It costs. It costs to get out of an apartment to a house. All right, to get out of a regular car to get in a new car. It costs. It costs, man. You have to go through certain things, and if you don't go through those things to get to those next levels, then you're not gonna be ready for it. It's gonna be a blessing given to you too soon. You're gonna be like the prodigal son. You're gonna run out there and just throw away everything you had because you didn't work for it. You didn't struggle for it. Just like that butterfly that's let out early of its cocoon. You just gonna be deformed, and you're not gonna be ready for the trials and tribulations and the responsibilities that come with that next level. The next level comes with responsibilities. You want to be a king in heaven, it comes with responsibilities. That's why you had a parable of the talents. I may have that in here. I'm not sure. I may have scanned through about half of this class, but that's why you have the parable of the talents, to see who's responsible, who's gonna know how to handle those positions. You know, for those who get them, man. Those kings and priests, we're gonna be able to handle that. It's gonna be those refined, you know, going through that fire. And we say that all the time, but man, jokers don't want to go through that fire. Ain't nobody up here talking about me. Oh man, thank God I'm being refined. nobody doing that. Nobody posting on a book talking about, man, thank you Lord for the refinery. I'm going through the refinery of the Lord. Ain't nobody singing about that. Ain't no hymns on that. It might be some hymns. Somebody need to make a hymn. Go ahead, Shalaki.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11. It is a faithful saying, for if we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
You see that reciprocity, man? You see that reciprocity? If we die with him, hey man, we gonna be with him. We gonna live with him. If we suffer with him, you know what I'm saying, he won't deny us. We'll also reign with him. But if we deny him, he gonna deny us. It's reciprocity, man. You gotta. It's an equal exchange. All right. He died for you. Will you die for him? He suffered for you. Will you suffer for him? All right. If you deny him, he was going to he will deny you. You know, and your credit will be denied, man. I forget what they call that, man. I forget what that system's called. I need to know that. But it's another system. You know, usually the credit system is kind of automated, but then, you know, if it's really it's kind of close, somebody can come in and try to give you that loan outside of the automated system. Somebody can come in and may try to move some things around and kind of help you get that loan cleared. And that's your house out there, man. He's that mediator, and he gonna deny you. I never knew you. Your credit is no good here, sir. Philippians Philippians 3 and Shalaki, go ahead on that. Did you finish that up?
If we believe not, yet he abideth faithful, he cannot deny himself.
Come on. Let's look at that Philippians 3 and 8.
This is Philippians chapter 3 and verse 8. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ Jesus, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Christ.
Come on. So I done lost all things, man. Paul had to lose it all, including his sight. All right, including his sight, and then get that thing back, but then be buffeted by Satan, then be stoned to death and left for dead, then be in 3 shipwrecks, then to be whipped with lashes several times. But if he suffered for Christ. He suffered for Christ, understanding that Christ suffered for him. He counted his dung to know Christ. What will you lose to win? You just got a blank slide here. Okay. You know what I was supposed to put right there? It came to me, all praises. To win, to lose, just to win, to lose. Just one more point. I'm not even going to go there. But 1 Samuel 29:30 is a story about David going out to fight. I forget who he's fighting. But he's going out to fight. And then he comes back. He wins the battle, but he comes back home and all. I think he's still dealing with Saul here. And then he comes back and finds that his women gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, he won his battle over here, but then he comes back and find out that his women and kids are gone. I think he's in between some adversaries and then also Saul. So he wins one battle on one hand, but then comes home and then now it's a major loss. And, you ain't even got time to breathe. And now he got to go back and try to deal with this issue. This issue also. So, he won, but then he lost. But then, he ended up ultimately winning once he got his wives back and got the people, all the women and children back. But I was going to put that there. Sometimes when you win, you lose. Matthew 16:24. Come on, it's the best thing at the time. Come on, Brother Michael. What's that? Matthew 16.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 16 and verse 24. 24 to 26. And it reads, Then said the Messiah unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Come on, what should a man give in exchange? And it's nothing that you can give. Like, it shouldn't be. I'm not going to say it's nothing you can give because, these jokers selling their souls out here. But it's nothing that really equates to the value of the soul if we truly understand that. But jokers giving discounts for their souls. They just souls on clearance right now in this modern time. In the days that we live in these end times, Souls are on clearance sale. You can Satan got a Kroger card on souls.
Using food stamps. EBT. Yes, sir.
What is that? But if any man, if any man come after me, let him deny himself. All right, let him deny himself. And that's what we coming up on the Day of Atonement. It's a day of denying thyself. It's a day of it's a day of affliction, also afflicting ourselves, emptying ourselves, so that we can come closer, man. To come after him. All right, let him deny himself and take up his cross, taking up our cross daily. All right, that don't mean you take it up and you hand it to him. You got to walk with your cross. Matthew 10 and 37. And we all, that's what I said. I was just talking to my partner about that. One of my buddies, man. Even Brother Eleazar. That, you can, you just got to understand, man, everybody's carrying their cross. I don't care how happy they look on social media. I don't care how happy they look on TV and how much money they have and da da da. But everybody's carrying their cross now. Everybody got some. Everybody going through something. Everybody getting a little refinery going on. So, a lot of times you can call and you try to, you can get some counseling and brothers can counsel you, but you'll end up, having to counsel that brother too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we be counseling each other. You know what I'm saying? You be wanting to vent, brother needed you to call so he can vent. He can vent also. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has thorns. Don't get it twisted. But it's just, we carry it. Some carry it better than others. It's just dealing with that refinery. They've been brought through worse. So those things don't really bother them. You may have $1,000 problem and brother sitting on a $10,000 problem, but they've been brought through so much. They have so much faith. They it don't bug them out. They can handle it better. That's why you need elders. That's why you need elders in the church. Where we at? Matthew 10:37.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, and verse 37. He that loveth father and mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
Go ahead, Shalakia.
He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward.
And that's why we have to let people, we used to go out to camps all the time, and we wouldn't take the money. People would try to give us money and give us alms, give us water. We wouldn't take it. But you got to let people receive their reward. You give a righteous man some water. It was one time I was out there teaching. I had like 7 bottles of water. It was hot. They were concerned. They were concerned. Like, I know that brother out there hot. One brother brought me a cold orange juice in a glass, in one of those glass containers. I forget what kind it was, but it came in a glass jar. It came in a glass bottle, not a jar. You know what I'm saying? It's one of these commercial brands. But yeah, brought some orange juice out there. That orange juice hit you. Some ice cold orange juice hit you, in that heat, man. That's a different refreshing. And they receive a righteous man's reward, man. Don't deny them their reward. And if you receive a prophet, you receive a prophet's reward. Just like the story of the sister that who received, I think it was Elijah, and a famine was coming. Elijah came back and gave her warning. He didn't give nobody else warning, and Christ even talks about it in the New Testament. But he gave her warning to leave, and then when she came back, she got sevenfold back of her land, because she took in this, she made this upper room for Elijah, seeing him coming back and forth, knowing he's a man of God, had a spot for him. You know what I'm saying? But the brother got to be righteous, man. Man, the Joker's trying to do that today, man. Joker's trying to sleep with your wife. Sirach 9 and 12. We don't want to talk about it though. We can keep pretending though. Sirach chapter 9 and 12. Joker won't even do it anyway, man. No, that Joker ain't righteous. He ain't that righteous. Joker really gotta be, he really gotta be your house. He ain't with house shop right now, yeah. Sirach 9, what we read? 9 through 12. This is in the Apocrypha for those who don't know.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 9 and verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend. Shalaki, what's that?
Wait a minute. I think we in the wrong spot. Where are we at? There is a sinner to have good success. Is that Sirach? That's Ecclesiastes. That's 9:12. There's a sinner to have good success. I think it's Ecclesiastes. Hold on.
No, that's not Ecclesiastes.
20. It's 20 in Sirach 20 and 9. Shalakia. Sirach 20 and 9.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 20 and verse 9. There is a sinner that hath good success in evil things, and there is a gain that turneth to loss. There is a gift that shall not profit thee, and there is a gift whose recompense is double.
Man, sometimes, man, go ahead and finish it up. Go ahead and finish it.
There is an abasement because of glory, and there is that lifted up his head from a low estate. There is that buyeth much for a little, and repayeth it sevenfold.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It could be the greatest thing, almost like these jokers at these pawn shops and stuff, man. They may get something in and get it for the low. It's like, oh man, just like that. It's a brother just got killed out there in LA. I don't think they took his jewelry, but they were trying to take his jewelry. But say that some joker come in with that jewelry and say, hey, it's worth 100,000. And say, man, just give me 10,000 for it. Man, joker be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna give you that, blah blah blah. And then come to find out that that jewelry belongs to another individual. Now you have to lose this thing, or now you have to pay. You done let it go, so now you have to pay for the jewelry to replace it. And you paying out 150,000, 100,000 for that 10 people that what you thought was a blessing. And I know you got countless stories, man. We think things are a blessing, man. We like, oh man, that's or this job may be a blessing, end up being one of the worst jobs worked at, or relationship wise, you may think this woman, you know what I'm saying, or this brother may be the one of my life, and then it turns out, this joker ain't, But jokers win the lottery all the time. Jokers win the lottery all the time. They say, man, that's the worst thing that happened to me. That money was the worst thing that happened to me. And then it's on the opposite end too, man. Some of these things that we think are detrimental to us, that are really, just really heartbreaking. Some of them things make us stronger, man. Some of those trials and those tribulations, actually make us stronger. So I said, I was one of those. There's that verse 11. There's a abasement because of glory. You know what I'm saying? You may do something wonderful, and then it ends up, it's still, somebody comes in and says something to humble you. All right, to say something to kill your spirit, and then there's a lifteth up his head from a low estate, man. You know what I'm saying? They can have, I'm gonna end with this. I ain't gonna end, but I'm gonna go on to the next slide. But you see those people out there in those third world countries, and these jokers just be dancing and smiling, walking in dirt, man, living in mud houses. You never talk about, they never talk about the depression. All right, I don't even know if they have counselors and psychiatrists there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even, maybe they, I don't know, but they have a different appreciation for things. They will come here and this will be the greatest thing that happened to them. But then, they'll see this place and be like, you know what, I'm headed on back. But on a lower state, it's just, it's less of a chase. You're more appreciative of smaller things. But if you start driving a Bentley, man, you ain't gonna appreciate no Chevrolet. You ain't gonna appreciate no Cobalt or no darn I don't know, man, S10. You done bought you a dually, you ain't want no S10. You get an S10, man, you gonna be frowning at it. That ain't gonna be the worst thing happen to you. But you let the joker ain't never had nothing, he get an S10. The joker be like, man, that's all I was waiting for before I started this business, man. He got that thing way down, man. He trying to tow everything.
Yeah. Can't stop working.
You can't stop working, man. You got 100 pallets on the back of that truck, man, trying to get to this money. But another joker, nah, man. You got a dually, man. Joker ain't happy so he got a darn I don't know. I don't know what's bigger than that. Besides the tractor trailer. Where we at? 1916. Didn't we read? No, 1916. Matthew 19:16.
Sure. This is St. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I might have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There's none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, Which? The Messiah said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? The Messiah said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me.
So it's a little more context on the precept Brother Michael had brought out earlier, that Matthew 19:24. When we was talking about the young reader, but he tells him, man, if thou will be good, be perfect. You want to be perfect, though. You do all of these things, but if you want to be perfect, you want to be whole, you want to be complete. Go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven. All right, you shall have treasure in heaven. It's a foreign exchange. It's a foreign exchange, man. The first thing you got to do when you go to these other countries, you go to Dubai, I don't know, Dubai maybe not, but I'm sure you do probably. You go to these other countries, man. You got to change that. You got to change that currency out. You got to exchange that currency. And that's what we doing here, man. You know, you cannot take them Benjamin Franklins in the kingdom. They don't spend in the kingdom. All right, them Benjamins. You can't be all about the Benjamins. Okay, they don't spend in the kingdom, and they barely worth something here now. Matthew 12 and 33. But if you want them treasures, that's how you do it. That's the equation. You know, I was walking to the post office. Well, not walking, but you know, I parked and out walking into the post office. And before I got in, an elder reached at me, and he said, "Man, I left my walker, and can you go buy me some stamps? Can you buy me a book of stamps?" And he gave me the money to buy the stamps. And I went in. Usually, I just drop off. I don't sit in line. My package is already labeled. I just go in there and pretty much just toss my stuff on the table and make sure they acknowledge that they see me, and I'm gone. But I had to wait in line, and I know the people in there because I go there every day. I know the people in there, and the driver who drives off with the packages, he was like, "Man, what you need, man? What's going on?" Da, da, da. And I was like, "Well, I had to. It's an elder out there. He want me to buy him a book of stamps. He had the exact change and everything." He said, "Man, I've seen that joker out there for 40 minutes. He was out there. You know what I'm saying?" And I asked him, did he need anything? Did he need any help? He must thought I was a thug or something, man. He must have, he must thought I was gonna take his run off with his money or something. And his brother's also elder, but he waited till he seen something that he trusted. Whatever he sees in the individual that said, I can trust that brother. Let me go in. Let me ask him. He didn't go back and get his walker. But he waited there until he seen something out of that he thought he could trust to get those stamps for the individual. And then there's individuals that he looked at and was like, well, nah, I don't trust that individual to get those stamps out of here, man. And I'm just saying all that to say that, just being a walking light, man, just being set apart, not looking like the world, man. Having a different spirit on you. People can sense those things, especially those elders. And so you may have people that may reach out for you for help. That's why, again, another benefit of the fringes of, you know a prophet. Not saying that we're prophets, but back in the biblical times, they knew who a prophet was. They knew how they dressed. And when they needed to find certain things, where they needed certain information, they would go seek out these people and seek out these individuals. And this is also, what it means to be a light. But we gotta be again, just being rich in good works, even though that really wasn't no good work or nothing. But it was just a good example of shining your light before men. Luke 12 and 23.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 12, and verse 23. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment.
Read 23 through 24. Shalak.
Luke 12 and 22. And he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body, what ye shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls?
And drop down to verse 31 and read 31, 32.
Verse 31. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that falleth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Where your treasure is, there your heart be also. Store those bags in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Store that treasure in the kingdom where moth and it doesn't corrupt and where it won't wax old. But we do that by what? By selling what we have and giving alms. And to provide bags which will not wax old. Seek ye first the kingdom. Matthew 4:4. So when you get opportunities, I know a lot of times, man, we just, you still, you gotta use some discernment with individuals. But when the opportunity comes, I've gave that when the opportunity comes to help people, man. You know what I'm saying? If opportunity comes, don't think about, oh man, you got a discernment. You give a joker, but you give him an eye. If that joker gonna mess over that money, or if that money's, that gift is gonna ultimately destroy this individual or do something to destroy him. But then you don't do it because you're not helping them. But if you feel that it can genuinely help this individual, help that individual, keeping in mind that, what I'm saying, you're storing treasures. You're storing treasures. And then if they screw you over, then you know not to do this again to this individual. You know what I'm saying? You know how this individual operates. And not to do that again. Not to give them that benefit of a doubt. What I'm saying? They're gonna screw the thing up. The discernment was a little off, but hey, you learn your lesson, and the Most High still knows where your heart is. That bag will still be there for you. Ecclesiastes 9:4, because you're not doing it for him, because him that you do it for is equivalent to you doing it for the Most High. So you don't even see that. You see God. You see God in that brother. You understand that brother's in need, or that sister in need. Then and you can help. Like I say, man, look, everybody got thorns. May can't help you. May can't do nothing but give you some counsel and share a couple stories with you and give you some encouragement. 9:4.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 4. For to him that is joined to all the living there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
A living dog is better than a dead lion. It's better than a dead lion. That's why I'm like, man, is it worth it? When I see these young rappers, these talking like, man, is it worth it? Like, why would you still want to be a rapper now? I don't understand. Like, why would you still want to be famous now? You can't even go eat at a restaurant, man.
That's still the best thing shaking.
That's what I was saying. I said the exact same thing. I'm like, but it's still the best thing. It's still the best employment on this earth for the so-called Negro. Is to be a gangster rapper. No matter how dangerous it is. No matter how many trifling it is, man. No matter how much jokers in here getting robbed and killed and overdosing on drugs and depressed and inside of mental institutes. You're a billionaire checking yourself into a mental institute.
Yeah.
Your wife got sex tapes out here. You trying to hide sex tapes from your children. But we still attaching ourselves to that, man. Like you said, man, it's still the best thing going.
That's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle of entrepreneurship in the world right now. You do what you want, set your own schedule. You still got to do some of these, and then really, they don't really make a lot of money unless they tour.
Right.
See what I mean? Because they really paying back that label when they make these albums. But you get most of the bread you get back is when you tour. So it's like, and then that brings on a whole nother aspect of that, a whole nother part of that demon. You dig? Like you got the women out there, you got
Yeah.
the drugs, you got the the fornication and the adultery. So that brings on a whole nother bag of devils. But that's what folks is killing themselves for.
Yeah.
That's what folks out here they selling their soul for. They want that.
They want that. They selling their soul for it for clearance. And sisters are attaching themselves to it too.
Oh,
Just being whitey's like that brother who just got killed, man. Sister was right in front of him, watching him get his brains blowed out.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Right there, you sitting up there, you can't even go eat chicken and waffle. Right? You can't even go eat a waffle. You know how much liberty? Like, you should be happy. You don't even understand that jokers can't do that. It should be. I used to. I remember Michael Jackson saying something like that. Man, I just want to be normal.
right,
He was. I just want to be. That's
right.
what I'm gonna be able to go inside the mall and shop and do. You know what I'm saying? He can't do it. Can't do it, man. Joker was saying, some of these celebrities cost almost 100,000 for them to leave the house
Yeah,
because they got to get on a private jet. They got to have security. They got to have makeup artists come to the house. They got to, man. But this is what they
yeah, man.
want. They think it's the greatest thing happened to them, and then they get locked down, and you can't go nowhere. So then you have to buy all these toys, but you can't even drive them. You can't even just cruise around. You can't do that.
That's what I
You
think.
gotta.
Tyson's Shalaki. I think Mike Tyson said it. He said he was worth. He had like 30, 40 million just doing one of them fights. He said he didn't have peace until he went to prison.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I
man.
remember
He
that.
said he would have gave it all up just for to have that peace of mind. And it's all ain't worth nothing unless you got that peace of mind. And he also said in another video, he said that God will give you what you want. God will give you all your heart's desire to see if you can handle it.
Mm.
But I think it was attached to that same video, maybe a different. That was one short clip of it. But yeah, he said God will give you up, will give you what your heart's desire is to see if you can handle it.
Right.
When you already know the answer, I guess you wanted it bad enough, and he gave it on to you.
Yeah, it's to show you.
That's right.
It's to show. Yeah, sometimes you got to do that with these kids, man, because they ain't gonna listen. So sometimes he do that to his children. He give them over to a reprobate mind.
That's right.
Brother Brian Reed said, they have been desensitized to death. They've been desensitized to death, and even their own, man. Jokers ain't scared to die. Jokers ready to die. What was that one, a Biggie album?
Yeah.
Joker's ready. Oh, born. Was it born to die? Ready to die? Something like that. But yeah, man. They just seeing it all the time, seeing it every day. Man, please, man. 40 years, 30 years ago, I ain't gonna say 40, 30, 20 years ago. It was hard to get females even around us. It was hard to even see. We knew they were in the neighborhood. We knew because we was at the same bus stop together. But they didn't come out the house, man.
They wasn't hanging out like that. That's
No,
for
they
darn
wasn't hanging out with no dudes. They wasn't hanging out with us, kicking a bobo and smoking and man. You had to hide. I used to have to lie to females and tell them, "No, I don't smoke." Nah, but not today, man.
Nah, they want that smoke just as bad as a man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, they going in there getting it. The man sitting in the passenger seat. See now, wait for her to come back with what they smoking now. Huh?
They getting a better deal too.
Oh yeah, but we ain't gonna get into that because
right.
Know why they getting that.
Right.
No, I ain't getting that better deal, man. I think got a few more slides here, y'all. Oh, this may be the last one. Wait. Nah, we got a few more. Revelations 3 and 18.
This is Revelation chapter 3 and 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see.
Con. And so we see there, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in that fire again. We talk about that refinery, but we go through it, but it ain't something we like doing. But ultimately, if we understand that going through that thing is going to make us as gold, it's a value in it. And this all this is saying, spiritually poor, naked, and blind. That gold has a value, that you clothe yourself in that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment that thou mayest be clothed. That white raiment is virtue. All right, it's precepts about virtue, and that cleanness, and that thou mayest be clothed, and the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. I think we're gonna go through a few of these precepts for these three, but the goal is value, the white raiment virtue, and the eye salve vision. All right, that we had these three V's here. All right, value, virtue, and vision. Goal. Let's look at Isaiah 48 and 10. Just breaking down that Revelations 3. And this is, like I say, this could be a short class for anybody. Breaking down the Revelation 3, 17, 18. Kind of goes into that being lukewarm, church of Laodicea. But it could be a short lesson. You know what I'm saying? You just go through, break down the gold, break down the white raiment, break down the eye salve. It's a video on how to make that too. I forgot. I watched it a while ago on how to make that eye salve. But go ahead, Matthew. I'm in Isaiah 48 and 10. It's dealing with being refined in that fire.
This is Isaiah chapter 48 and 10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction.
I've chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. This is how I test you. This is the choice way on how to test you. You know what I'm saying? How I was tested with this. And Job, definitely great example of being tested through the furnace of affliction. Let's look at Psalm 66 and 10. Let me see if you trustworthy.
This is Psalm 66 and verse 10. For thou, O God, have proved us. Thou hast tried us as silver is tried. Thou broughtest us unto the net. Thou laidest affliction upon our loins. Thou hast caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, but thou broughtest us out into a wealthy place. I will go into thy house with burnt offerings. I will pay thee my vows, with which my lips have uttered, and my mouth hath spoken when I was in trouble.
You know how we make them vows when we in trouble. We tell the Lord we gonna do everything. We tell him we gonna do everything. We gonna do right. Just bring me through this thing. Just give me this. Just grant me this. And now, listen, I'm gonna be on fire for you. I'm gonna be on fire for you. So we see here that the writer's also saying, the psalmist is also saying the same thing. I'm gonna pay them vows that I told you that I uttered out my lips when I was in trouble. All right, but refine me. All right, you have refined us by putting these other nations above us. And so we always complain about the other nation above us, but we don't never say, thank you for putting them above us so that we can be refined. So that we can be refined as gold, so that we can be tested. All right, so that we can prove ourselves worthy to enter into the kingdom. White raiment, couple precepts on that. Revelations 3 and 5. This is what's gonna refine you and make you shine and make you stronger. And we have that. We'll say stuff like that all the time. Like, yeah, man, who else could have survived that transatlantic slave trade? Who else, even with the some people say that we're stronger genetically because of the breeding through that transatlantic slave trade. But no matter what, it had produced us with a certain strength. It produced us with a certain strength, with a certain mindset that they now destroying. We used to, it was a beneficial mindset, but now they've turned that. You know what I'm saying? This system has turned that into a self-destructive mentality that we running with now. What we at? Revelations 3:5.
And Shalaki, I just have to say this, like, even though the Most High wasn't with us as far as, in no way 16 or 20 or even 30 white men could have held down 500-600 slaves, I still think that the Most High was with us in the sense of us not going crazy with menstrual dropping on you, with feces dropping on you, still keeping us sane, still, I don't know about being focused, but, I would say that that's the hardest part would be staying sane through all of that, being locked down and you can't do nothing about what's for the drop on your head or what you let down on somebody else's head, and just knowing that your family is going through this, keeping us in that right state of mind, that would drove a lot by. You would just imagine. I can't imagine that.
Right.
Nowadays, I can't even fathom going through that. This was a year and a half, 2-year journey. So, that just right there alone, he wasn't with us as far as giving us the strength, but he had to be with us to give us some kind of keeping us sane.
No, I agree.
That makes sense.
I agree. No, he was with us. You know what I'm saying? Definitely for us to overcome that, man, to have that strength. But that's why, the text says, when you are weak, that's when he shows his strength. And so, we were brought down to that estate. And us being what we are today, still, in a camouflage of what that other thing was, because again, a gift destroyeth the heart. Like we talked about earlier. Things are kind of flipped where we think we have something, but we're still, our minds are captivated. But back then, our flesh, our bodies were in captive, but not our minds. We we still was in touch with the Father, man, even in some of those spiritual hymns and things that, what I'm saying, that they were thinking like it had to be there. Again, we can't imagine, but it had to be some ounce of hope there that didn't come from man. What I'm saying? It had to be a peace there. I did a video called an incomprehensible peace. A peace that we can't really understand, just, due to the circumstances that they were dealing with. Still having a certain peace at night, still making babies, still jumping around anytime they had a little break or had a little opportunity, where they wasn't getting whipped and getting raped and all of that stuff, man. And like you said, even on that boat, just not knowing where you go, you have to release to God. You know what I'm saying? You have to. See, it's certain situations where you ain't got no other choice. You can bring it, battle your brain all day and long. It was one, when I went to jail, I ain't been to jail once, but I didn't find peace in that because I couldn't call nobody. I nobody knew where I was. My family's out in another city, and this is before cell phones was like that. You didn't really, you had cell phones, but you still had pay phones. Jokers really had the best way to get to a joker was still really the home phone or whatever.
Uh,
But I didn't have peace in there, so I'm calling, I'm picking up, I'm calling everybody. You know what I'm saying? This Anthony, I'm in the, I'm locked up. Da, 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 da. Trying to, when they say your name, I'm trying to give a joker a whole message. Hey, call my daddy. And eventually, somehow they separated me. They isolated me and put me in a holding cell by myself and dressed me out. And I still, I ain't seen no judge. A couple days done went by, I still ain't seen no judge. I'm the only one dressed out in the holding cell. And eventually, I just let go. Eventually, I had to just let go to the Lord. I was like, man, whatever happened, I just take the consequences. If I gotta be here a few months, I'll be here a few months. That's it. Okay, I'm done. All right, let me, and that was the only time I could really eventually sleep and get that when I had to let go instead of scrambling my mind on what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized that it's nothing else that I can do. I have to rely on God. And when you get to that point, you can find that peace. You'll find that peace. That shalom. And it'll draw you near. It'll draw you closer because you ain't got nothing else. You know what I'm saying? You done ran out of options. Thinking you going to get yourself out of that. Zechariah 3:3. They knew they couldn't turn that boat around. But some thought they could, some, you had some takeovers, was that Amistad. Them brothers and sisters, they got that boat, but they end up, they ain't know where they were going.
Yeah, let me read this Revelations first.
Oh, Shalakia.
Revelations 3:5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels.
So if you living in righteousness, you gonna get that good credit, man. That credit gonna go through. All right, you are going to get approved. All right, and you gonna be in here. You get to live in this kingdom, man. All right, you get to make it through these gates. Zechariah, what's it, 3:3?
This is Zechariah 3:3. Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel. And he answered and spake unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with change of raiment. And I said, Let them set a fair mitre upon his head. So they set a fair mitre upon his head and clothed him with garments. And the angel of the Lord stood by. And the angel of the Lord protested unto Joshua, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, if thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge my house, and shalt also keep my courts, and I will give thee places to walk among these that stand by.
So we see, again, that white raiment being a sign of virtue, being a sign of righteousness. And Yahushua, what he did on the cross, gives us that white raiment, but we can defile it. We can defile it with bitterness, unrighteousness, just continuous sin. We can defile that garment, lest we repent and truly repent and come out of those things. But again, just another precept on that raiment dealing with virtue, dealing with righteousness, and a fair mitre, beautiful. Put a beautiful mitre on his head, beautiful change of raiment. In vision, Isaiah 59, 10, and then we got one more precept, y'all. We'll be out there. Isaiah 59 and 10.
That's the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, and verse 10. We grope for the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. We stumble at noonday as in the night. We are in desolate places as dead men.
All right, so we see that we in desolate places. We are blinded. Um, even even with Paul writing, what I'm saying, blindness is coming to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles come. All right, we grope at the wall like the blind, and we grope as if we had no eyes. All right, stumbling at the noonday, stumbling at night. I mean in the light. Proverbs 4 and 19. No matter how clear this thing is, man, we'll still choke on the word. We'll still stumble at it.
This is Proverbs 4 and 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, Shalakia.
No. Go ahead.
My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thy heart, for they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh.
They are life to those that find them. Keep those things close. All right, keep them in the midst of thine heart. But that the wicked not understanding what they stumble at. They don't even know where these problems are coming from. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these, sister that I do some work with that, has ran for office in the city and was, I hear every time I go in and get some garments and stuff from her, I just hear some of the plans and stuff like that, and yeah, man, we got we giving them access to technology, we giving everybody access to computers, and they need education, and they don't even know what's really causing the darkness in this world. They don't really understand why these young kids is killing each other like that. They trying to put band-aids on things, they saying cliche things instead of getting to the root of the problem, which is sin, man, which is us getting away from this text. You need to be handing these folks Bibles. You need to be giving them the word of God. You need to be making sure that they can hear this word. You need prayer back in the school. You need biblical classes in the school. You need Torah teachings. All right, you need to be coming back to these law, statutes, and commandments, and simplifying this thing, and then just making it easy, and stop trying to adapt to the ways of this world. 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. Yeah, we got to read both of these. I say just one more precept on the next slide.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. That's a cut to that video we was watching. I was watching a video of yours just earlier, the dude that said the Trinity.
Oh, right. And dealing with that glory. And dealing, yeah. It was several. That's why I said just go through, just go through the precepts. Just put glorified and glory into the Strongs, and man, it's just you got to define this stuff. Yeah, I know what they trying to say it is. I know what they trying to imply it, but I want to hear them say it.
He could have used this verse for his point. Because it says, lest the light of the glorious, this is the gospel of Christ, right, who is the image of God. He probably would have used that to his favor.
He could have, yeah. But it's the image. We the image of God. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean it's God. That don't mean it's Yahweh. But yeah, there are much better points that he could have used. I don't know why he started with that, but like I say, it's ultimately something we'll have to sit down and really, like I said, I gotta really do a heavy class on that. on that Trinity. There's so many different angles they could try to come at, but they really not good angles, man. All of them is kind of, it need a little fluff on it for it to work. But again, this gospel being hid. Go ahead, Shalaki.
Shalaki, I said I didn't mean to get off subject, but yeah.
Oh no, you good. All right, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them, all right, which believe not. And so those that didn't believe, you know what I'm saying, Hasatan done blinded their minds. You know, done blinded their minds where they can't see. And they stumbling. And this is why you need the Ashlav. This is why when Paul had to go to what was that brother's name, man? After Damascus, he had to go get the scales. The scales fell away from his eyes when he was blinded, and he ended up getting healed. A lot of those scales have to fall away. And, we did that verse with dealing with the scales of the Leviathan being pride. You got to humble yourself and be able to be retaught. Paul had to be retaught, had to relearn everything that he was taught him to persecute Christ. Let's look at Proverbs 29 and 18. Some of my brothers doing that today. You know what I'm saying? They persecute.
Shalaki, good.
They persecuting Christ and then saying Israel is in America and all kind of stuff, man. But that's because they denied that glorious gospel. Go ahead, Shalaki.
This is Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Where there's no vision, the people perish. All right, Parah, I think it's Parah in the Hebrew, which means they live loose. All right, they don't have no restraints. They don't have any discipline because they're not trying to accomplish anything. Because they don't have any vision. So they don't have no vision for the future. If a brother know, okay, well, I'm trying to save some money up to buy a new car, that brother, that sister is going to have certain restraints. You're gonna put certain restraints so that they can get that money, so that they can eventually get that car. But when somebody just sitting around, they don't have any goals, any aspirations, no vision for the future, no vision, not understanding, and what we need to really be looking at is, the gospel of Christ and, entering into this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So that we can put those restraints. Okay, well, what I need to do to accomplish these things and apply those things to our life. But when we don't have no vision, we think that this is all it is, then yeah, we'll sell our soul for some chains and to smash some thoughts and eat at a fancy restaurant where they wrapping steaks in gold. You know how much that gold costs, man, that wrap that steak in? Probably about $3-4. That's about $3-4 worth of edible flakes, man. Giving you a $30 tomahawk steak with $4 worth of fake gold flakes around it, and you paying $1,000. You really paying $1,000 for him to cut that steak in front of you. Matthew 19:29. Yeah, close out. We just read Matthew 19:29.
Where there's no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Yeah, we just read that.
No, Matthew 19:29.
Oh, Shalaki, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. My screen is a little slow. I'm looking at the last. I'm looking at it just changed over on my TV.
Oh, okay, Con.
Matthew 29.
Shalaki, Matthew 19:29.
19 and 29. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 29. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold.
Do you believe that?
Shalaki, what?
Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Do we believe that? That if you give away a car, you'll receive 100. Do you believe that? And that's church. Listen, man, there's people. There's church where people have donated cars, man. People donate cars all the time, man.
Con.
And you write it off. Esau let you write that thing off. But we don't even know those benefits, man. That's what I'm saying, man. We don't even know. Like, that's what we blinded. We don't even know how far we off. I was talking to my dad earlier, man, about starting a 501, a nonprofit, and how these nonprofits, jokers be making, crazy bread on the nonprofits. He was talking about like a juvenile center, just something before you end up getting in that system. But I'm like, man, yeah, man, the folks probably give you $5-6 million if you had all the paperwork and everything licensed together, for you to write that stuff out. But that's something heavy, man. We just not equipped to do that. We're not equipped. We don't know nothing about doing nothing like that. We barely know how to, and that's what's stopping us from helping our people. We don't have the information. And it's really because we don't want it. We don't really. It's out there. It's out there, man. Jokers doing nonprofits all over the place, man. But yeah, we just don't want to do it. Ultimately, we just have to say, and even myself, that we just don't want to do it. I've been talking about, hey man, I need to get into the prisons and maybe start doing lessons and stuff for the prisoners. And it's easy to do. It's just brothers ain't did. Do you really want to do it? I got to look at myself on that. I don't want to do it, because if I really wanted to do it, I would have went in there and did it. I wouldn't keep talking about, yeah, man, I need to go and get that thing done, blah, 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 So, and we all need work, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, help, pray the Most High, just give you the spirit, man. The key for this is all things we got to work on, all things I look at. We got to be able to examine ourselves in a lot of these matters, man. We could be doing more. You know what I'm saying? We could be doing more to stack these bags, because we do a lot for the world. We do a lot for the world, man. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot for the world. But what are we doing to stack these bags? And we sit and contemplate a lot for the world on what we can do to make more money. How I can start another hustle here, or I could do another hustle here, or I could start this nonprofit and do this, right? But yeah, we just gotta evaluate ourselves with that, man, and start trying to investing in that kingdom and storing these heavenly treasures. I yield with that. If anybody have any questions or anything to add, brother, if you have anything, if not, then we will close on that.
Now that'd be a good look, man, to go into the prisons, man. I'd be willing to read. You bring up the lesson.
Yeah, man. Definitely something we got to work on, man. Definitely something I need to check my spirit on and make that happen, man. Not be afraid of that.
Yeah, that's like almost better than the arms mission, because they ain't got nothing but time to listen. That don't say it's gonna deliver them, but at least they can hear the word will go out.
Right, Brother Reed, the best way is probably just email us. I'm gonna put the email there. Email us on princeofpower@gmail, or if you ever you feel like coming on the panel, you can come on the panel. And Prince of Power Israelites, you can come on the panel and ask the questions, or put them in the chats if you don't want to come on the panel. Prince of Power Israelites at Gmail. Prince of Power, I spelled that wrong. Prince of Power Israelites at gmail.com. But you definitely you can send your questions there at Prince of Power Israelites at gmail.com. I can definitely get to you, get back with you. And if you ever catch our lives, you can always come up here and ask questions or put them in the chat, and we'll answer them to the best of our abilities. We not we know everything, but yeah, and we ain't we ain't too prideful to be taught. You know what I'm saying? We got something wrong. We could be taught something, or we don't know out there. We don't know, but we all striving. Striving for this truth, man. Striving to enter into that kingdom. Striving to store these heavenly treasures. You got anything else, or you good?
I'm good.
All right, man. So we gonna say shalom, y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. We'll be on Bring It Out TV for the Day of Atonement Sunday. At even. Well, I don't know when time the class gonna be. I don't know what time the class gonna be.
I think it said 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be out on Bring It Out TV at 7:30, and for this Sunday, and then again back on the regular schedule on Wednesday back here. Y'all willing to be able to drop some classes throughout the week. And with that, we gonna say shalom. Y'all be blessed, Israel.
Shalom.